emotional idiot, and somehow I'm in charge. I tell my 14-year-old daughter that good judgment comes from experience. Not my experience. When I was 14, I told my mom I was going camping for the weekend. She dropped me off in her slime green, wood-paneled Impala wagon and said, "Ride if you get work." Then sped away from the countryside, leaving a trail of dust and coughing campers. After pitching my tent, I phoned Tony Tamer. He was a college dropout who would never go all the way with me on account of I was too young. I'd Monica Lewinsky Tony, and he'd just leave me hanging, so Tony was kind of like my Moby Dick. I invited him to smoke weed, make out in my tent, and eat Vienna sausages. Tony showed up with a 6 of Schlitz and purple microdot, and by the next morning, he was gone, and so were all my clothes. I did a toga thing with my sleeping bag and hitched a ride with a camper on a Harley. He had a leather jacket with a skull and crossbones, but the crossbones were actually pistons. What a really clever design, I thought. And he was lovely enough to drop me off in town at a corner with hedges I could skirt along to get to the nearby home of my classmate, Mali. I barely knew Mali. She was a Cambodian refugee, the Baptists sponsored her family, and she was unlikely to broadcast that I showed up naked to borrow clothes from her. We tippy-toed past her parents to her Pepto-Bismol and white lace bedroom, where Mali handed me a t-shirt and a pair of overalls with a smile so warm and charitable that I began to feel some pangs of conscience. How long had Mali had clothes to lend? Then the moment was gone. And I headed out to hitch a ride back to the campground with my thumb out and lingering question if Mom might notice the overalls. I was stupefied, absolutely stupefied, to see that the first car to pull over was that slime green wood-paneled Impala. Mom brought me to a free clinic that did therapy. They'd specialized in both transcendental meditation and transactional analysis. I picked up a mantra and a workbook called TA for Kids. I learned that the T and the A did not in fact mean tits and ats for kids. I also learned that strokes were vital human interactions and that we crave good strokes, but we'll take bad strokes in a pinch. I learned that I got in trouble because I needed more strokes. As an over-sexualized girl, the strokes and warm fuzzies really resonated with me. Plus, I liked that I could make out with Michael after therapy sessions. Michael was a prisoner that was bussed in from the state penitentiary for drug rehab. And strokes, I guess. I smuggled pot to Michael that I stole from my mom, which really shed light on the term drug clinic. I'm in turn listened to Michael tell me stories that ultimately made me realize I didn't want to go to jail. Good judgment does come from experience with really, really, really bad choices. It's time my daughter made more of her own choices. She'll make mistakes, but her stinkers are going to be way more elegant than mine. My cautionary tales are not written in her DNA.